because my name is Tommy Springfield.
And I'm better than you!
If you're new here, click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. And please, once again,
allow me to reintroduce myself.
My name is Tommy Springfield, aka that fly in the wall, aka the most interesting ninja out the hood,
Stay thirsty, my friends.
aka the king of all things related to talk. In today's video, I found it interesting. It's Roseanne, and she's talking about Dave Chappelle and when he went to Africa. And if you don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown. There was a situation where Dave Chappelle had the TV show, the Dave Chappelle Show, and they were doing great, and they was on Comedy Network making big money, and they promised Dave all this money. And when it came time to pay Dave, they didn't pay him, and Dave up and went to Africa, disappeared for a little while, and then he came back. But Roseanne's take on it was he was talked to by the elites of Hollywood. And she says one thing that I always say. When I talk about racist people, I stop just saying white people. Why? Because there's black people part of that group that holds you back. So I call it the system. She has her word for it. And I thought this was an interesting story. And I know I've been talking too much. But let's get into the video.
Speaking to another legendary comic on your podcast, and it kind of shocked the world what you were talking about.
I'm sorry. I always like to give a warning. As you can see, I'm 420 friendly over here. I drink a lot of coffee. I drink tea somewhere around here with fruit in it and too much sugar. That's just what we do here. And if that's too much for you, I appreciate your view this far. Thank you, but I wish you the best in these channels that don't do this. Back to the video.
You were diving deep into the industry and talking about forces that could come and knock on your door and get someone like Dave Chappelle to move continents, right?
We were filming the movie, and he also had a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
From HBO and or not HBO, Comedy Central, and all this shit, right?
The worst bunch of people on earth.
Horrid. Mm-hmm. He then, while he was on the show, when it was blowing up, and we remember the Aspen Comedy Festival? I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that too.
He came there, and he was freaked out.
Yeah.
I said, what's going on? And all I could say was he was visited.
Yeah. That's what I think too.
What?
And when he told me who visited him, my heart stops for a second. I'm like, get the.
Now, you hear what he's saying. He's talking about when he was working with Dave Chappelle and them, and things were going good. And then Dave Chappelle told him he was visited. And when he told who he was visited by, he was shocked. But we're going to get back into the video, folks.
And I'll never forget, he went, "You believe me, right? You believe me, Jim, right?" And I could, he's like, they came to me. And he said the names. I'm like, get the. What happened? And then all of a sudden, he went to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening.
What's that about? Like, so he's talking about Dave Chappelle there, and he's, Dave Chappelle, one of the most famous comedians on earth.
Yeah.
Gets visited by who? Roseanne, you've been in Hollywood for quite a long time, and you know the system as well as anybody. Well, that clip went thermonuclear, but I've never seen a follow-up to it. Can you kind of unpack that for me?
Well, you got to be real careful. And I try to be careful, and I try to speak in code because, like I say, I have a large family. And
did you hear what she said? She said, yo, you got to be careful. And I try to speak in code because I got a big family. So people know there's a power structure that exists, but they scared to talk about it because, like she said, I got a big family. So when you see celebrities out on the limb and they seeing all type of wild things, and then something happens to something in their family, and then now that celebrity is not singing that tune anymore, you know he was visited or things happen to people in their families. Let's get back to the video.
You know, I can't remember his name that's sitting in prison right now. You know, Trump's one of Trump's advisors.
Peter Navarro.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, there is a black power structure that, you know, we're supposed to be ignorant about. I never speak of, but they're part of the whole power structure too. It's not just all white people. There's a black component in it. And they have a lot of power, and their power comes from policing their own. And that's their job, is to police their own in Hollywood and in the media. And it's the same with Jewish people. I'm Jewish. And we have a Jewish power structure that polices Jewish people in Hollywood too. So we have to answer. You'd think that they just let the audience decide if we were funny or good, but no, they don't, because we might say something, and you know that saying, one spark can set the whole woods on fire.
Yes.
Well, we might say something that sets the whole woods on fire in people's heads, and they have to guard against that because they don't want people to witness or be aware or know, because their whole thing's based on secrecy, and they've kept it that way for
Let me stop her right there. You know, we call the black community, we call them gatekeepers. You know, she's calling them whatever she's calling them, but we call them gatekeepers, and those are dudes like people call Kevin Hart a gatekeeper. The only people getting past him is people that he rock with. You know, Cat Williams, as we know, he was a dude that went against the grain of Hollywood, and we see he went through trials and tribulations, and that's what they do when you go against the grain. But let me finish letting her cook.
thousands of years. Secrets are how they keep power. And now we're in a whole other age where we have the internet and instant information at our fingertips. So that changed things and made them have to crack down even more. So you take, let's just imagine, who would be in Hollywood at the top of that power structure to tell Dave Chappelle that he has to reel it in? Who do you think?
The studio. I mean, maybe I'm naive, but the studio heads, the people who sign, someone who's signing the checks.
No,
it's leverage.
Tastemakers. That's who. They always call them influencers now, but we used to call them tastemakers because they have a lot of cultural power, especially in minority groups. Because they want every minority group to be a monolith of one opinion.
So she said the people who have the power are the influencers. So I'm going to give you a quick example, and I'm going to try to put a clip into the video so you can see exactly what I'm saying. For the black power structure, the new influencers are dudes like Kai Sant. There's this other little black kid, Duke the Dentist, and Drewski. And if you notice and if you're paying attention, all the older elites are now starting to go on these shows. You got Shaq going on Kai Sant. For one, Shaq, that's a kid. Why are y'all, Kevin Hart going on Kai Sant? Why are y'all grown men going on the channel of a gamer? One, do y'all mess with little boys? Because that's what he is to y'all. He's a little boy. But that's what they do. They get you while you young. And then now if you pay attention, Duke Dennis and Kai Sant and them all, they're a little clique now, because that's what the Hollywoods want. They want to control the influencers. You just heard her say it. So they get them while they're young. Pay attention, folks. All the big time celebrities go and try to get the influencers on the up and coming. Pay attention.
And that ain't freedom, you know. They want to break down freedom in the Black community and, you know, all minority groups, especially also the Jewish community. They only want one opinion. And that's their job, is to sit on the rest of us who don't, you know, knuckle under to it, because we're not going to do that. We know something different than them, and we're not going to we're not going to side with evil. That's why we're comics. We're supposed to put the severed pieces together, as Virginia Woolf said. That's what writers and intellectuals and comedians do. You put the severed parts together so that people can go, oh, I never thought of it like that. I was thinking like that, and I'm glad you gave me the words are pointed the way. That's our job. That's what we do it for, because we want people to go, aha, and then laugh, you know, to acknowledge that they got it. So, you know, you have to look at the cultural leaders of minority groups, because they're the ones, I won't name them, but those are the ones that bring you the bad news that you are misrepresenting your people, and your people will turn on you, and your people don't like it. Your people don't want to hear it. They want to hear, you know, basically the Democrat Party line. They don't.
So, as you can see, she say the top heads of the race come and see you. What did Kanye said when he went through his rant? Oh, yeah, they sent Diddy at me. They sent this person at me. Because at the time, that's who the cultural heads and the dudes that reeled them in for the black folks. You know, the Kevin Harts and the Diddies. And they call you up and they say, man, Kanye, you out of line. You crazy. But as we seen what happened, he wasn't going for that. But this is exactly what Roseanne is saying. What people has been telling you for a long time.
But nothing else. I mean, you can see it. Look at what happens to black people who don't hold the Democrat Party line. I mean, it's just shocking how many liberal people in Hollywood that I would go around, and I didn't, you know, because I had to, but how many of those leftist Democrats, and I was telling somebody this the other day, a black friend of mine, a comic, and I said, I've been in the room, and almost virtually every one of them used the N-word with the hard R. Every one of them, about Justice Roberts and people that are not towing the Democrat Party line. I've heard it. And you know, it's just ugly and horrible. That's where we're living. We're living in ugly, horrible, upside down, backward world, backward day every day. And it's hard to see your way through it. And if you do see your way through it, if you're a brilliant comic like Dave Chappelle, he got messaged, and then all of a sudden he started talking about how bad the Jews are. I put it together because there is a party line that you have to acquiesce to. And Democrats don't like Israel, and they don't like Jews unless they're leftists. But that's part of the whole takedown and takeover of the American soul and mind. And I just pray every day that God will touch people and ignite those sparks in them that he put there. He made us smart, not stupid.
So there you have it. I thought this was an interesting interview because, you know, unless you just not that bright or doesn't have a sense of intelligence, what she's saying is true. If you witnessed or paid attention or knew about the Dave Chappelle incidents, you know she's not lying. And you know the elites run the world, and it's no different in Hollywood. And I just love the fact that she pointed out, nah, it ain't just whites, it ain't just Jews, it's blacks in the upper elite that hold blacks back. That's who they send. They don't send a white guy to talk to the blacks. They send another black that done sold out. Like, bro, you gotta sell out. You gotta give up your booty. You gotta be like us. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting. Let me know. Get in the comment section. I'm trying new things over here in the channel. I'm doing a little longer content. I'm trying to edit them better. Get in the comment section. Let me know how I'm doing. If I'm doing good, if I'm doing bad, I'm okay. I got thick skin. But like I always say, if you appreciate what I'm doing over here, click the like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I give my unbiased opinions on videos like this and videos of all sorts and from all different walks of life. But like I always say, if you're a supporter of the channel, much love and support goes out to you, and I salute you and you and you and you. And if you're one of these haters out here, cut the shit.